Hi guys, it's me, Terry of the Yarnjoy podcast. Well, today is March the 18th in the year 2020, okay? And this date marks the end of a challenge that was put forth by Glenda from the Creative Grandma and Krista of the Secret Yarnery. They started at the beginning, I think it was the beginning of the year. It's when they put the challenge out, I think. And anyway, it started from then and it went to today, March the 18th, and they called it the Season of the Granny. And so they challenged everybody that wanted to participate to make projects using the granny stitch. It could just be granny squares and then making a project with it, the actual granny stitch, or, you know, there's so many variations of the granny square. And so, you could use those as well. And so I was able to complete 3 projects, I think that's all, completed that would qualify for this challenge. So let me show you what I made. Okay, so the first thing was, now you have seen these probably in previous videos, but I wanted to unite them all together since this is the last day of the Season of the Granny. Okay, so I had a crochet along that I had hosted, and so my project for that was this granny square throw. I called it the Scrappy Granny Crochet Along, and videos for this, I did do tutorials on all the different size granny squares, small ones, a larger one, and a granny rectangle. And how to put them together and everything. They're all, I will link them below where you can find the tutorials for that. But anyway, so I finished it, and this is granny stitch, and so it qualifies for the Season of the Granny project, okay? And it is lap gan size. As you can see, I'm having difficulty getting it all in the camera. Such a fun project, and I really love the fact that it used up quite a bit, not all, but quite a bit of my scraps and smaller open skeins of yarn. So it's a very good project if you have a lot of scraps that you need to do something with. Okay, so that was project number 1 for Season of the Granny. The next project I did was a shawl, and this is a granny stitch shawl right here. Okay, basically it's just a long, narrow rectangle in the granny stitch. I used Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Wizard, I think. And this is a pattern by Yarnspirations. Now I modified the patterning a little bit. The name of the pattern is called the fringed shawl, I think. And so, or fringed, it's either the fringed shawl or the fringed scarf. As you see, I did not put the fringe on it. But anyway, I did not make it as long, the initial chain or whatever, the very first row of the granny stitch, which is right here, no, right there. Anyway, I did not make it as long as they were going to make it. I think they had it where you ended up with 45 shells down one side of that first row, and I did it where I had 35 shells on each side. So it wasn't quite, I didn't want it as long, but I wanted to get the width of it, so then it would end up being a shawl that I could donate to one of the senior centers or nursing homes, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, so here it is. I think it turned out really great. It's a nice size for just a shoulder, to be a shoulder warmer, you know, for somebody that's in a wheelchair. And of course, like I said, I did not put this fringe on it, so that way it wouldn't get tangled in the wheelchair or hung up in anything. So anyway, that is my second project that would go along with the Season of the Granny, okay? And I will put links in the description box below for this pattern from Yarnspirations, and also my I'll put a playlist together of the tutorials for this Scrappy Granny Crochet Along lap gown thing that I'd made. And as you can see, that back there, the one with the red on that chair right there, is the same pattern as the Scrappy Granny. It's just that I did that one a couple of years ago, I guess. Okay. And my third project for Season of the Granny was a bag that I made, and this is called the Granny Summer Bag, and it is another pattern by Yarnspirations, and I will link it below. I'll need to hold it up like this so you can see it. Here it is. Now this is made, it's like a solid, they're solid grannies, okay, and it is made with well, the pattern calls for Karen cotton cakes, but I did not have any. I just used some sugar and cream, peaches and cream, sugar and cream, I think, cotton yarn. And so this is how mine turned out. And I do have a tutorial on how to make this and put it together. Now, I did go a step further in my production, the way I made mine, because I wanted to line it, and so I did line it, and I have in my tutorial how I lined it also, okay? And it's really nice size. You could use it for multiple things, market bag, you probably wouldn't even want to line it for that, I don't know. A beach bag, but I'm going to be using it, of course, as a project bag. It's a good size and it will hold a large project, so that's good. Okay, so that is it. Now, I have a granny, I'll go ahead and show you this. It is a granny type square, but I didn't finish it. I'm still working on it. It is this one right here. It's a circle to square piece. Okay, I've got all the squares done, as you can see, and put together, and it is going to be lap gown size. I am now working on the border though, and so this one is not technically, it's not finished, so it didn't meet the deadline for Season of the Granny. So, but anyway. Okay, oh, and that pattern is a circle and stripes throw, I think, and I will put a link below. That one actually came out of a magazine, crochet magazine collection type thing, but I will put a link below where I got that, or well, yeah, where I got it, or I'll try to find it. Okay, so that's it. Thanks so much, Krista and Glenda, for hosting this Season of the Granny and inspiring us, and so many of us, to take part and get our granny stitch on and make projects. It's very versatile stitch. Like it's not just for blankets. You can make all types of projects using that granny stitch. Okay, guys, so thanks for watching and looking at my Season of the Granny projects, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.